Okay, shalom. Okay, shalom. Let's give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh. Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Wakakadash. Okay, double honors to our apostles of Great Millstone, our elders of GMS. And salutation and peace and blessings to the whole select of the children of Israel. Okay, this is concerning the Sabbath here. And my input on those camps going off. Talking about you can have sex on the Sabbath. Sex on the Sabbath. Absolutely amazing. I can remember coming into this truth, and as time goes by, months and years go by, you're learning things, and as you don't come into this truth, and goddamn shame on you who pretending like you're not, but want to pretend like you fucking know every damn thing when coming into the truth, which you're being deceitful as all hell. But when you come into this truth, you don't know it all, and like I said, speaking on myself, learning the truth, you're still committing old acts of the previous world, your old mind before the truth, going off. And as time goes on, you're purging off those um, worldly worldly ways, the ways of the world. You're purging it, as time goes on, learning this truth, learning the truth of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and the laws and the commandments of this Bible. Okay, and at first, you know, uh, not knowing and not sure of the Sabbath, was still dealing with my wife until, um, um, and it wasn't much longer, um, but especially after we started going to the highways and the byways, is um, not long after that, learning that the Sabbath and what the Sabbath entails, and that's abstaining from being with your wife, sex wise, you know. Uh, but again, you learn that it was actually a sin. It's not lawful. It's actually profane to be laying with your wife or wives, you know, on the Sabbath. And again, you abstain yourself from those things, you know, and that's what I learned through the Spirit, that it was unlawful to actually have sex with your wife on the Sabbath. I wasn't intentionally doing it, you know. I wasn't thinking, oh, it's a Sabbath, I'm gonna have sex with my wife, It's just you're making that mistake and not being aware what days are coming, what the Sabbath, when it falls, and you're just making that mistake, and but then you learn you have to be aware of these days, of these holy days that are in the Bible. You have to be aware, then making a list, um, for example, the Sabbath itself, you got to know when the new moon comes in. So this takes a constant uh, looking. So the new Sabbath is about to come in, which tonight is the old Sabbath, Sunday, uh, sundown to Monday, and then the new one, the new moon, the new Sabbath of this new moon is coming in Monday sundown to Tuesday sundown. So uh, there's 2 days straight of the Sabbath. You know, this is one of those times which a lot of times it falls where there's 2 straight Sabbaths, right? The old one, and then coming in of the new one. All right, and there's also groups that are actually against that as well. Uh, but uh, let's read into some of this, and then what I did, I took a photo of the Zondervan Bible Dictionary and the Sabbath and what it says about the Sabbath itself, and showing you that you know uh, that Esau himself knows uh, got sense enough to know these truths than these wicked niggas, man. You know, these wicked niggas. It says Sabbath, to desist, cease, or rest. Desist, same as saying cease or restraining. You know, and that's the thing about evil doers, these wicked niggas, is um, they have no restraint. Scripture speaking of, they have no restraint. You know, um, and so they pretty much making everything and anything lawful, going the hell off, being profane, being abominable. You know, so continue on reading. The weekly day of rest and worship of the Jews. Okay, and it gives you the scripture. The Sabbath was instituted at creation, the story of creation, Genesis 1, 2, and 3, close with an account of the Most High's hallowing, with an account of the Most High's hallowing of the seventh day, because on it he rested from his creative labors. And that's the main point where it comes in at, when it was declared Sabbath to us to continue on to for our generations forever to come, or something of that extent. It actually comes in Exodus, which it has here. There is no express mention of the Sabbath before Exodus 16:21-30, which is correct. Um, in the wilderness of sin, before the Israelites reached Mount Sinai, the Most High gave them manna, a double supply being given on the sixth day of the week, in order that the seventh day might be kept as a day of rest from labor. 40 years later, Moses reminded the Israelites of the Most High's command to observe the Sabbath, and told them that they were under special obligation to keep it before the Most High had delivered them from bondage in Egypt. Deuteronomy 5:15. Among the Hebrews, the Sabbath was associated with the ideal of rest, worship, and divine favor, not certain taboos. Now I'm gonna continue on reading, but we're gonna come back to that. All right. With the development of the synagogue during the exile, the Sabbath became a day of worship and the study of the law. So meaning that, well, as a day of rest, so that on the Sabbath, which Apostle Torah mentions that you shouldn't be watching no damn football games, or you know, indulging in entertaining, you know, or certain pleasures, like the previous word said, taboos. All right, but I'm gonna continue reading, as well as a day of rest. There are not many references to the Sabbath in the apocryphal books, which the apocryphal books mentions it quite a few times, which let's go into that here. Here we go, the Sabbath. It mentions it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 18. 18 mentions it 18 times, showing 18 results. It's showing 18 results. This is just in the apocrypha alone. All right, and let's go to a good one here. First Maccabees 1. And this is First Maccabee 1 speaking on wicked ass Israelites. Come on. What? Tell me, push ahead again. It's not coming up. No, that's good. That's crazy. It's not coming up. That's Satan doing his thing. Satan doing his thing. Hold on. First Maccabee 1. Go back. Okay, Judas comes up. Let's go. There you go. There you go. Okay, and here we are now in that same uh, uh, spirit of ancient Babylon. First Maccabees 1:36, for it was a place to lie in wait against the sanctuary and an evil adversary to Israel. Thus they shed innocent blood on every side of the sanctuary and defiled it, and so much that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them, whereupon the city was made an habitation of strangers, and became strange to those that were born in her, and her own children left her. Her sanctuary was laid waste like a wilderness. Here, let me do this here. Sanctuary. Going to that word sanctuary. I like to read this Zondervan a lot, you know, and I'm trying to get into the habit of remembering a lot of things, key points that's in this dictionary. You know, it's gonna come out one of these days. Spirit's gonna kick in gear, and I'm gonna start remembering a lot of things that's in this book. Because it's on point. It's on point. These are scholars, and that's what we're supposed to be learning to be, is these scholars of the prophecies. You know. Here you go. Sanctuary in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. Sanctuary is a holy place. That's what the sanctuary is. A holy place refers almost exclusively to the tabernacle or temple. Okay. The Most High sanctuary was his established earthly abode, the place where he chose to dwell among his people. And that's the spirit of these devils. They're just trying to defile the sanctuary. And along with a bunch of wicked niggas in that same spirit trying to defile the sanctuary, our sanctuary. All right. Her sanctuary was laid waste like a wilderness. Her feasts were turned into mourning, her Sabbaths into reproach, her honor into contempt. As had been her glory, so was her dishonor increased, and her excellency was turned into mourning. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. You know, the Most High, you know how I feel about that one people mess. You know, and everyone should leave his laws. Go back and imagine the time when we first started hitting those highways and the byways, and especially in Columbus, Ohio, it was like a shock to the world. It hit the world like a punch, like a jab, like pow, you know, and they everybody just reacted off of went into total defense that, no, because what they were doing, they're defending um, they went to in the spirit defending their wicked ass ways, man. And what we were doing was exposing them for being wicked and all their foul, abominable ways, and that's the same spirit, you know. Um, and that's what's pretty much what's rising in Israel now. Certain groups rising up in that with that abominable behavior, uh, wishing to push it on you, you know. And mainly speaking of, especially that Sakari group, IUIC, ISUPK, just foul, abominable groups, man. You know, they're willing to accept as long as they get a few crumbs and some popularity. You know, they're willing to do pretty much any damn thing. Okay, so it says, more of King Joseph wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. And what's under the laws of the Sabbath? That what the ancient customs that they understood, that abstaining from touching your wives, going into your wives, man. For the king has sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days, and polluted the sanctuary and holy people, and set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised. So, you know, and really, if you examine the lives of these knuckleheads that are literally clearly going off, man, you're gonna pretty much find a lot of the foul things that are actually going on, and they're pretty much as with especially opening their damn mouths, it's exposing themselves, and the Most High is letting us see that's just pretty much a surface of what's really in their minds. But eventually, you know, through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, he might just bring out even more, you know, before he just literally pretty much destroy them, man. You'll find that they're, you know, they pretty much going to be guilty of a lot of these, you know. So again, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanations, to the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. Um, so going back again, let's go back to that. All right, let's go back. Where was it at? Here we go. The word taboo. It says, among the Hebrews, the Sabbath was associated with the ideal of rest, worship, and divine favor, not certain taboos. All right. So, um, let me do this. There you go. Taboo. What's a taboo? This gives you a couple definitions of noun, adjectives, and verbs. A noun form, a social or religious custom prohibiting or forbidding discussion of a particular practice, or forbidding association with a particular person, place, or thing. Many taboos have developed around physical exposure, prohibited or restricted by social customs. Sex was a taboo subject. Here you go. Placed under prohibition. Traditionally, societies taboo female handling of food during this period. Um, Taboo definition and meaning. Let's see here. Study.com. What does taboo mean? Definitions and examples. Let's see what's in there. Come on. Definitions and examples. The term taboo refers to an activity or behavior that is prohibited due to religious, social, or cultural reasons. Learn about the definition and examples of taboo and explore common religious taboos, social taboos, legal taboos, and sexual taboos. When something is taboo. Okay, now diving into the scriptures again. Okay, let me get that Exodus. Was it 16? Was it 16? If I was correct. It's not giving me this. Exodus 16 and 23. Okay, give me a second here. 1 second. Get to the point. Let me get to the point. Um, okay. Okay. Let me begin reading this here. It might be more right. It might be around when it's speaking on the Passover, but I'm going to read this here. Um, and he said unto them, This is that which the Lord hath said. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto the Lord. Bake that which ye will bake today, and seeth that ye will see it, and that which remaineth overlaid up for you to keep kept until the morning. And they laid it up till the morning, and Moses bade it, and it did not stink, neither was there any worm therein. And Moses said, Eat that today, for today is a Sabbath unto the Lord. Today ye shall not find it in the field. 6 days ye shall gather it, but on the seventh day, which is the Sabbath, in it there shall be none. And it came to pass that there went out some of the people on the seventh day for together, and they found none. And the Lord said unto Moses, How long refuse ye to keep my commandments and my laws? See, for that the Lord hath given you the Sabbath, therefore he giveth you on the sixth day the bread of 2 days. Abide ye every man in his place. Let no man go out of his place on the seventh day. So the people rested on the seventh day, and the house of Israel called the name thereof manna, and it was like, let me find this one I'm specifically looking for though. Let me go back to that. Let me find what I'm looking for. Let me go in 20. Let me go in this 20 here. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy power in vain. The Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy power. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy sons, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservants, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in the sixth day the Lord hath made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is in them is, and the rest of the seventh day. When the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Okay, that's not one. The one I mentioned I was really looking for is it might be Deuteronomy. What I'm looking for. Okay, let me hit in Passover. No, what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for. Okay, let's go there. I'm not sure if it was Numbers. I think it was Deuteronomy though. It's gonna take me a second to find this. I might do a little bit of reading here. Okay, let's do the rest. This is 16. Mm-mm. I'm going to have to pick up my Bible, instead of doing it this way. And I'm doing this off of straight memory. From I'm trying to find the part where it mentions going into like wives. When it mentions going into your wives, and thou shalt rejoice. Slocky, y'all. I know it's taking a minute, but like I said, it's just certain things that's just sticking out in the back of my head that I remember him saying, commanding not to go into your wives. Um, okay, let me go there. And I know it mentions it in Exodus 19 when the Most High was coming to visit the children of Israel, since they didn't want to listen to Moses. Okay, let's. In the third month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai, for they were departed from Rephidim and were come to the desert of Sinai and had pitched in the woods, and Israel camped before the mount. And Moses went up unto the Most High. The Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say unto the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, You have seen what I did unto the Egyptians. Okay, and we're almost there. And come not at your wives. Let me hit that in under over there and do the search right here on the other phone. Come not at your wives. Come not at your wives. Okay, let's see what comes up here. Okay, that same scripture. Come not unto your wives. Okay, it's some of that extent though. Salaki, forgive brother, I can't find it. But it's clearly evident. It's clearly obvious that we're not to be having sex with our wives um, on no Sabbath. I'm trying to find the actual saying. Touch. I know it can't be touch not your wives. Oosh, I spelled it wrong. No, it's not that. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. So I'm gonna be doing some serious reading once I shut this video down. But anyway, you got the point. So till next time, Lord willing. Taboo is sex is considered one of those taboos clearly on the Sabbath. So shalom.